Last month, we got the news that Pokémon Scarlet and Violet would be receiving a free update on the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2. Now, we've finally been told what this update entails, and it's pretty much what we were expecting, but there's a small hint that could make shiny hunting even faster than before. Pokémon have explicitly confirmed only 3 things. 1, this update releases alongside the Nintendo Switch 2 on the 5th of June. 2, the game's image quality will be enhanced. And 3, the games will have a better and hopefully more consistent frame rate. Most discussions around Scarlet and Violet nowadays are pretty much just about how poorly the game runs, so this will hopefully be a huge step in the right direction. The Casaroya Lake in Paldea and the northwest area of Kitakami have always been the worst in my experience, so once the Nintendo Switch 2 releases, I'll be heading there immediately to test how much better it really is. In fact, I'll be live streaming my reaction to this new update here on YouTube, so you should subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll help you find out whether or not this upgrade is worth your money. Talking about the Casaroya Lake, and I promise this leads into how shiny hunting will become easier, it was actually so infamous for bad performance when Scarlet and Violet first released that they had to limit the amount of Pokemon that could spawn at one time. I've seen some people claim the cap started at 20 and then dropped to 15. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it's certainly close enough. Looking at a screenshot of the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Scarlet and Violet taken in front of Casaroya Lake, we can count more than 20 Pokemon on screen at once, and that doesn't even include the Pokemon slightly out of frame. So it's pretty simple. You'll be seeing more Pokemon, hopefully at a higher frame rate, so even just casually walking around, your shiny odds will be slightly better thanks to there being more Pokemon around you. You'll also be seeing more Pokemon during a 30-minute shiny boost from sandwiches, effectively boosting your shiny odds a noticeable amount and making Herba Mystica much more worth it to hunt down. Looking at the new screenshots from the Nintendo Switch 2, the update is a bit graphically underwhelming. I've never had too much of an issue with the graphics. I think the performance and the emptiness of the open world are much more pressing issues, but I'm not sure what the point of releasing these images is when there's barely a noticeable difference. To be fair, I said the exact same thing about the clips of the Switch 2 edition of Legends ZA. It looked almost exactly the same to me, but I saw a ton of people online celebrating how good it looked. Maybe I'm just like a bit blind and this actually looks great. You know, I'd encourage you to come to your own conclusion, really. But the online response to this hasn't been great. Generally, people are excited that Scarlet and Violet's performance issues will be fixed, allowing themselves and others to enjoy better aspects of the game, like battling or the story, but many people are disappointed at the same time. I am excited for this update, but I do understand, I get the criticism. Why did it take 2.5 years, almost 1,000 days, to fix such a basic problem with the game? Scarlet and Violet don't look great. Some people might even say they look bad, so there's no reason why it should perform terribly as well, especially compared to better looking games released for the Switch. On top of that, why has it taken 2.5 years for the developers to ship this update for the Switch 2 while original Switch users are just left to suffer? It feels like they abandoned Scarlet and Violet way too early. They released it in an unacceptable state, tried to fix it maybe one time, and then went, oh well, nothing more we can do. At the very least, their acknowledgement of the game's issues, while, you know, only being fixed 2.5 years later, gives me a bit of hope for the future of Pokemon. Hopefully they're developing Generation 10 with all of Scarlet and Violet's flaws in mind, and with all of the negative reception in mind, and they'll make this series' 30-year anniversary the best games yet. I also saw a bit of speculation when this update was first announced that tried to reason that it would include a new story content update with a new mythical Pokemon. While that's obviously not true, I do think it raises a good point, because what the heck is the gorilla in the Scarlet and Violet books? I asked this question over a year ago, expecting it to be answered, you know, anytime soon, but we're approaching Scarlet and Violet's final year, and we still don't have a single hint towards what it could be. I'm currently working on a video about what's going to happen with the future of Scarlet and Violet in its final year, so if you're interested in hearing about how this mythical Pokemon fits into the timeline alongside some new shiny legendary Pokemon, scroll down, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I promise you, you will not regret it.